Greetings, Ty. Welcome to the village. Welcome to the village. What's going on, Ty? Okay, so that's going to be about 7, right? It's a game. I'm going to I'm going to run your playlist one day this week. I'll announce it on the stream. This week, I'm going to help some of y'all get some of y'all watch hours because I know some of us are really fighting and some of you are always supporting and hanging in there with me through thick and thin, even on the days I don't feel too well. And, I want to help as many people as I can that's helping me get to their, crossing line. And I know we all can do it if we just keep on pushing forwards and, doing what we have to do. Max Payne 3, okay. I'm going to try to catch it. I'll get your notification. I'm going to try to catch it. I try to catch it when I can. If I can't, then I'll always catch you on the playback, but I'm going to try to catch it. My asthma is still cutting up on me, so, I've been a little bit off. So if y'all notice that I haven't been around as much as I usually am, it's because I'm still kind of, trying to breathe in between and get back up and do some more things. But it's going to be all right. We'll make it, right? We family and we all pull together. A little bit. I'm still struggling because here in North Carolina, it still be some really warm days. And on them really warm days, I still struggle. And then I do believe that I probably just need to stop being greedy and bring this weight back down. So that's what my, focus is now, is just working on myself and getting myself back on track so I can be healthy. And the medications don't help, the steroids. So here I am. But it's okay. Don't worry too much. I'm all right. I always push through some kind of way. I don't let too much keep me down. Yes, we do. And I need all of y'all in here to help me stay healthy. I promise you I do. And I really, really need all of y'all to just have my back right now and help me to push through. How are you feeling today? Enough about me. How are you feeling today? How is your day? I don't want to be selfish. Some of y'all already have a playlist of my own that I created for you all. So the ones that I already have a playlist for, it'll be much easier for me to just run it because that's what I did with Shanique. I already had a playlist for her, so I just ran it and I just kept running it over and over until she hit those 12 hours. I'm feeling good. I woke up around 1 p.m. What you was doing? Why you slept so late? You got you some good sleep, huh? But you be up till 4, 5 o'clock in the morning because I be seeing you sometimes. I'll be like, what are you doing up wide open with a full live stream going? I'll be like, yo, this guy's crazy. But hey, you might as well enjoy yourself as you up. And there are plenty of night owls out here, right? Or night owls or whatever. I just want to get through this stream though without, struggling too much. So I had a rough week. This last week was kind of rough, and this week is kind of rough. But I don't like to whine too much. I just try to keep pushing through. Yeah. Well, I'm a night owl. I come from New York, and that's the city that never sleeps. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm just used to being up at night. When I work, I like to even most of the time get jobs that I can get on and do those overnight shifts or them graveyard shifts and things like that. Nobody's bothering you. You doing your thing. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Just go on and do what you got to do. Yep, I'll be going to bed around 7, 6 or 7 a.m. Ain't nothing wrong with that. As long as you can get back up and function. It is all gravy. And yes, it's kind of warm down here today. We got a cool day the other day, and I felt a little bit better. And then it turned back warm so quick that I started feeling kind of sluggish again. Just trying to keep breathing through, breathing through, breathing through. And then I don't like to keep on the pump, on the machine. I do it if I need it, but I don't want to just exhaust myself with needing it all the time. I try to breathe on my own as much as I can without all of that stuff. That's how you get addicted to the medications and machines. And the devil is a liar. They will not tear me down with all that medicine. So I got up and I took a little short walk today. I've struggled a little bit, but I was walking. I was like, get up, push your lungs, push your cardio, get yourself up and move around. I can't sit still and just lay down and just, feel bad. I have to get up. And I got up. I'm up, right? I got in that shower. That helped. A shower is a miracle mover. When I got out of there, I felt a lot better already. So that was that. But yeah, we gotta all get where we gotta go now. It's no time to play no games no more. Hey, James Money 615, welcome to the village. Come on in. James Money, do you have your 4K watch hours? Because what I'm gonna do in a week or so, I'm gonna do some sharing for the ones who already have their 4K, because I do have supporters that already have their 4K, and I want to show them some love too. But I wanted to really kind of work on this week some people who really, really, really are struggling to reach their 4K and they don't have it already. Just to, help them a little bit, and maybe somebody else will follow the leader, and, vice versa, share each other out, help each other reach those goals so that we all can be comfortable and get where we need to go. It's okay to, wash each other's hands along the way and take some of the stress off of one another. I see a lot of people in here are really struggling, and yes, it takes its toll when you keep on trying to get there, and then you get so close to being there and you're not there. I had got monetized a few weeks ago. Oh yeah, okay, okay, okay. Congrats, congrats. Okay, okay. So I'll do you one day next week. I want to get people this week who haven't reached there. Oh no, I'm so close to get 2K. Okay, so I'll put you down. I'll share you out for some hours one day. So that, let me write this down right now. So James, you support this channel. I want to really help the people that actually supports the channel. We got people who shares out and support, and sometimes they are the less noticed in here. If anybody is watching this, if anybody is watching this on the playback and they are actually a part of the village, I'm not talking about somebody that jump in here once or twice a month, but someone that comes here and actually support, and you need help with your watch hours, you come in here and you let me know, because a closed mouth don't get fed, and we can all circulate around and help one another. And I'm going to be putting some pictures up on the screen asking people to help with watch hours. And if you see someone and you can help, because your name may go up next and everybody may have to help you. And that's the way we're going to start doing it. We're going to put a few people up each week and say, everybody, share them out, help them with their watch hours, whatever you can do. And this way we all can start to, not only bond as a village, but, really help each other as a family, get to whatever it is we're trying to do. Hello, Fast Ira. How you doing? Welcome to the village. Okay, it's time for me to get off the ground and get started. Good day, good day. Thank you for coming in. Greetings, greetings. We're going to put you up for a little while so that everybody can see that we have you here. Thanks. I'll visit your channel, James. Right, we have to help one another and look out for each other. Hey, we sit in here with each other day in and day out, right? So that's a sign that we need to be able to come together. We're only going to grow if we help one another and really, have each other backs, and not just in numbers, but in general. There's so much going on in this world. But let's get off the ground. It's after 4, and I'd like to run on schedule, so we're going to say a prayer, and we're going to get off the ground. Father, Father, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is definitely Thanksgiving season. And I thank you, Father, because I've been calling you so much that I don't know how you still answering. Just thank you for never quitting your job, Father. Thank you for just always answering and for just being an ear and a helping hand. Father, I'm not going to bother you today for nothing much. But I know we got a whole lot going on all over the world, Father. Father, you know you got to get on out there in Nigeria and help our youth out there, Father. Touch and anoint them. Fix it, Father. Destroy every enemy out there. Don't let nothing manifest that's not of you. Bind it up in Jesus' name. Father, if there's anybody out there that's not feeling well today, give us all total healing from the crowns of our head to the soles of our feet. Father, allow us to be united. Allow us to have love, peace, and harmony flowing all through this village and the universe. Do not let anything that's not of you come into this village. Don't let it cross our threshold. Bind it up in Jesus' name and replace it with your Holy Spirit. Father, let your word come out of me. Father, forgive us all of our sins. And Father, allow this channel to be what you designed it to be. Let your will be done in this channel. We lift this up in your Son, Jesus' name. For his sake we pray. Amen, amen, and amen. Yes, 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 yes. Before I get into the topic, I wanted to send a couple of special shout outs out to a couple of people that has been doing so much for this village, but at the same time, many times they don't get a chance to come in while we're streaming. Sometimes they may be somewhere else where their time is different, or just at that moment in time they may be busy. But I don't ever want any of you that I love and care about to fall by the wayside. And I don't ever want any of you to feel that you're not just as important as the others. First of all, I want to send a special shout out to a young lady go by the name of Mrs. Leon Life. Mrs. Leon Life, you touched my spirit when I found out that you have been watching me from the bushes for a very long time and following this channel. And so many others do that. I get so many people call me and say, I've been watching you for the longest. But you came out of the bushes and you made yourself known and became a part of the village family. And I just want to send a special shout out to you and thank you for coming out and being a part of the village. We appreciate it. We appreciate all those that's on the porch coming on in, because it's getting ready to get cold out on that porch. So come on in here and be warm and cozy with the family. I want to send another special shout out to a young man. He goes by the name of Daddy Days. And Daddy Days, his time is different. And he comes in here all the way from Germany just to say, hey, Queen, I'm here for you. I support you and I have your back. He's also militant and he's also a father and one of the most amazing gentlemen you want to meet. Thank you for being an amazing supporter and friend and a part of this family, Daddy Days. Salute. You may have noticed your name was not on any of the list yesterday, and that was because I wanted to send you your own special personal shout out. So if y'all notice sometime your names are not on the list, that's a sign that something mega is coming for you from my heart. And I want to say, continue to keep doing it because I look forward to that. There are some of you that I just look forward to the kind things you do. It just warms my heart. I want to send another special shout out, and it goes out to Sunshine Cooper. Sunshine Cooper, you are amazing. And you always, always, always just come into the silent stream and make yourself known. If you got to put it 50,000 times, you're going to make it up there and you're going to put it up there. I want to send another special shout out to a young man, and he goes by the name of James Money 615. James Money 615, he comes in here, he minds his business, and he always makes sure that I know he's here. Even if he's in the background somewhere, he come in and say hello. Hello to you, James, and thank you for all the support that you bring into this village. And now I want to send another special shout out to another young man. He goes by the name of Alex Doe, and that's my Brody. And he rides for me and he dies for me. And I just want to say thank you, Brody, for everything you do to be a part of this village and keep this village moving. I want to send another special shout out to a young lady. She goes by the name of Tap In with Queen Riri. I love her channel, and if you don't have her, definitely get over there and check her channel out. I love when I come to anybody's channel and it's just pleasant, and I can actually sit down and, relax and enjoy your contents. So continue to create good contents, cook good food, and just be the queen you are. Thank you for being such an amazing supporter. Miss Ann Ming, I just want to say a shout out to you way over in the Philippines. Another one that's been riding with me for a very long time and still riding with me, as well as BD Simple Recipe. BD and Mom's Simple Recipe. Another one from the Philippines that's just been riding for a very long time. And I want to send a special shout out to someone that recently started coming in here, but they have been riding also. And they go by the name of Homemade with Rum. Shout out, shout out, shout out. And I'll have so many more shout outs coming in as we go along. I'll constantly keep letting so many of you know how much y'all mean to me. Tyrone Morgan, I shout you out all the time because you just here all the time. And there are some of you that you may see on the list more frequently because y'all are always in here. So that's why your names are always on the list. Yes, the beauty of helping each other and the beauty of sharing. Yes, and it makes me feel good when I can help somebody and, put a smile on their face. It's always a blessing to be a blessing. I always tell people that if you're blessed, be a blessing. Whatever it is that you can bless somebody with. It don't always have to be money and material things. If you can be of service to somebody, be of service. Whatever you can do to be a blessing to somebody, roll it out and bless it. There's so many blessings on here, and there's so many people that has been mega blessings to me. Cubs Den, Blue Jeans, Sales Lady Boss Up, William Newell, Mary Jane TV Creation, Armed American Patron, Jen Louisiana. The list goes on and on and on. So I'm going to stop naming people and get into the topic. Today's topic, yes, it's a relationship topic because y'all done bugged me to death about these relationship topics. So we're going to deal with one today. And I hope y'all can jump in and help me with this because this topic is for someone that needs information. So please, if y'all can give some information, help me with this topic. Why do it always seem as if as soon as you start dating someone, right? You broke up with this person, they're moving on and you're moving on. Y'all both are moving on. They're not bothering you and you're not bothering them. Everything is going just fine, right? And then they decide, oh my goodness, you're dating someone new and now they want to come back. And not only do they want to come back, but they want you and them to start all over and make the relationship work. But in the meantime, you just got serious with someone new. And the person that you got serious with is serious about you. And they really want things to work out because they're putting their time in. So now the thing that I would want to know is when you're dating someone and it breaks and then you decide, okay, I gave it a little bit of time. It didn't work out. So now it's time for me to move on. Now here they come back, scratching around. Now they, oh, I miss you. I want to be with you, and so on and so forth. And you're saying to yourself, what is going on? Hey, Fifi, what's going on, girl? I see you getting fitter and fitter. You looking good. Hey, mama girl, what's good with you? So in the meantime, now this person wants you back, right? And the hard thing is that you got feelings for this person, right? You actually got feelings for them still. And you're starting something new and you're in between the two. It happens. No judgment. It happens. So now, which direction do you go in? Do you continue your journey with the new person? Or do you backpedal back and start to figure out if you and this old person should come back together and work stuff out? Thank you. I'm back in the gym. Okay, be careful in them gyms, and I hope you're wearing your gloves. If you're not wearing your gloves, make sure you're wearing your gloves when you go to the gym. Put them gloves on, because I don't need you touching things and getting nothing on you. So be careful in them gyms. I'm worried about you. Okay. So now, if a person comes back to you and they say, well, I want us to make it work, and I know you talking to somebody, but I want you to leave that person so we can get back together. Do you leave them? Or do you say, well, no, we had our chance already, it didn't work out, and I'm seeing someone new, and now it's time for me to give that person the proper chance and respect? Or do you be sneaky and diddle between the two? Hey, it happens. Or we wouldn't be discussing it, right? It happens. Okay. For me, I think that it would depend on why we broke up. What was the reason for the breakup? If it was something petty and we still liked each other and I just started dating someone new, I might say, okay, let's try to talk about it and see what we can do before I go too deep in with someone new. But it also would depend on how long I've been dating this person and how much I actually like them also. But it's not always that easy, guys. No, do not go back, and they want you to be happy. And they don't want you to be happy. Okay, why would you feel they don't want you to be happy? Tell me about it. And yeah, I want to hear. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think it's a matter of what would you do, because it happens. This topic has been coming across this table for a while, and I decided to bring it in here today because I felt like sometimes we need to be able to talk about the things that is going on in the world that people actually deal with and be able to give them some answers. And I love when I'm not the only one giving them answers so they can have views from other people. Now, another thing, I also think it would matter on whether or not there's children in common, if you have kids or not, that you have together, and you're saying, well, okay, we have kids. And I'm not saying that because you have children, that's a reason to get back with somebody if it's just toxic. Let's be clear. But sometimes when you have children together, you try to make things work a little bit more if it's not that bad, so that you do not break your family. So we'll talk about that as we go. But it also would depend on how bad the breakup was and whether you can forgive whatever happened for you to break up. There have been times when I have broke up over some crazy, simple, silly stuff that I don't even know how we got to that point over something that's silly. Maybe somebody was having a bad day. And then, sometimes you can talk about those kind of things and work through them. But I don't know if I already moved on with somebody else, if I would want to involve them in this type of rebound situation. They are jealous that you're with someone else and they see that you have moved on and you're happy with them. Oh, so in other words, what you're saying is you don't believe they came back because they want you back and really is genuine. You believe they're only back to mash stuff up because they see you happy. Okay, I see how that can make sense. I can see how some people would do something like that and say, well, I'm going to go back because she done moved on and she got somebody new or he got somebody new and I'm going to go back and mash that up. Okay, would you discuss it with someone if this person came and said, hey, I want you back, or can we make it work? Would you tell somebody or would you keep it to yourself? Most of us women, we got to tell somebody, right? That's just how we wire. We going to call our best friend, somebody, and say, girl, don't you know this fool back wanting to work stuff out? He back on my phone. Girl, yeah. He texting and calling and trying to do this and do that and talking about he want me back and so on and so on. And yeah, honey. And I got this one over here and me and him doing our thing and so on and so on. You got to make it more than what it is, right? I'm just messing with y'all. But okay. I do think I would have to tell somebody because I got my cousin and my sister and a couple of my good friend girls, and I would just have to call them up individually and maybe even a couple of us on three-way and be like, "Girl, guess who back? Guess who back?" They're all gonna laugh at you. And I mean, we would just be sitting there chewing the fat about it, and they would all be going in because my friends are not lightweights. I guess y'all can see that by this village. And my cousins and them, they not lightweights. They getting ready to bring it in heavy. And they not going to feel sorry for them either, right? Because that's not what they do. They not going to feel sorry and be like, well, just pray on it. And no, they not. They going to be like, well, you're going to have to make him earn his way back if you take him back. Don't let him think he going to just come back just like that. You already know they getting ready to go down to the ground with him, right? And if he come back and he half stepping, he really gonna be sorry. And if they didn't like him, he ain't gonna get back in because everybody gonna nail him to the cross, right? Because he did that. And they don't forget all the stuff you was whining about while y'all was breaking up, right? They remember everything you told them down to the little white dog he took out the dog. I'm calling you and my sisters. That's right. And you already know when you call me, I'm going to be like, what happened? He did what? Who? What? Oh, no. And the only way I'm going to like him to come back is if I feel that he's for you and maybe that incident was something that happened and so on and so on. Because I'm going to tell y'all something, right? The women in this family is kind of hard on a man sometimes. So sometimes we have to talk each other off the ledge too. Now I'm gonna stand up in some truth. Because when you start working on us, we be like, what? That's it. Bye. So Sometimes I have to say, okay, I know you too. Now, what you do? What you saying? And they do that to me a lot. Like, you sure you? No, because I done said something 9 times out of 10, right? If I didn't do something, I done said something that done probably worked on his last good nerve, right? And he like, oh, this is it, right? And then sometimes when you have a curtain call, it's not permanent. Sometimes you do need a break before somebody hurts somebody, right? Okay. But my thing is, if you taking a break, you better stay gone for a week or two and then figure it out. Because once I move on, don't you come back around these parts. Don't you come back over here talking about you sorry and it's too late, buddy. I done moved on. Now this man over here, he thinking that this his situation, and next thing you know, I'm telling him some other crap. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I did that before. I did that before. That dude was mad. He was so mad at me. Do you hear me? I did it before. And to the person who was asking me about it, that's why I didn't tell you, because I wanted to bring it into the live stream. But I was with my child's father, and he got locked up. That was during the time I was in my heyday, and he went to jail, right? So when he went to jail, I had met somebody new. And the young man that I met, he was a good guy. He wasn't all about the streets and all of that. He was working for Wells Fargo, a nice young man. So I said, you know what? I like him. So I told him, I said, well, I'm in a relationship, but he locked up. But me and you can hang out in the meantime, right? But he stayed in there for 3 years, right? When he was in there, now the guy knew all about him and everything, right? I had told him, I'm with somebody, he locked up, boom, 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 we can hang out, but when he come home, we gonna be together. So he was like, okay, cool. So I thought I had it going on. Then I done told the truth, and he agreed to it. We both grown folks. Let's roll the dice. Now, the part that we wasn't looking for is during this duration that we were dating, we started liking each other, right? And I came home one day, and this young man proposed to me with a whole ring, right? Don't y'all dare judge me. Don't y'all dare judge me, right? Now, mind you, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my goodness, what have I gotten myself into? And then as he's proposing to me, he's looking at me like, please say yes, please say yes. So what did I do? Right, I said yes. I said yes, y'all. I said yes. I tells this guy yes, right? So long story short, after I tells him that I would marry him, I still got this one in jail that's coming home, right? So I said, okay, when he come home, I'm just gonna have to let him know that I moved on and I'm engaged. That would have been the right thing to do, right? Okay. Here I go standing in some more truth, guys. I told y'all I was a train wreck when I was young, right? So he comes home and he comes to visit me, right? But no, about a week or two before he came home, I did crack and tell him I was engaged and I was seeing somebody, right? So he comes home, he goes to his mother's house. So I'm thinking he's gonna just go about his business and leave me alone, and me and this young man is gonna continue our journey, right? So I goes to visit my mom, and who pops up over there but him, looking like new money. Looking like new money, right? And I was just like, oh my goodness, what have I gotten myself into? So I'm trying to just ignore him and say, like, don't say nothing to him. So I goes to the store and I comes out the store and who's standing out there for him? He's like, can I talk to you? So I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yo, what's up? You with somebody else? You couldn't wait for me, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, he was like, well, can we at least still be friends? I don't want us not to be friends, right? And I'm going to tell y'all something. Never stay friends with somebody you still got feelings for. because that was where we went wrong at. I still was in love with this man. And even though I was kind of loving this new guy too, I think my heart was really with the one that had just came home. So, we met up a couple of times behind the other person's back. And then I decided that this isn't right. So I decided to give him his ring back because I felt as if I was being disloyal. And I knew this wasn't going to stop itself because it had done took up wings. Like, it was to the point where we was just a mess. We really liked each other still. So I was like, well, I just got to tell him that, we're together and we're going to be together, and give him his ring back. And I made that decision because I knew we wasn't done, and I knew the closure hadn't came. As much as I wanted to believe it did, it didn't. So I gives this young man his ring back. He is torn to pieces, right? And I tell him, I said, you're going to have to, leave because I don't want to play with your heart and your feelings. And I'm still into him. I didn't think I would be, but I am, right? Hey, yes, nomads. Welcome to the village. So long story short, he was like, well, you're going to have to give me some time to find me a place and all this stuff. I was like, okay, I'll give you a little time to find your place. But now we got to separate in the house. We can't be sleeping together and I'm seeing somebody new. That's not going to work. You're welcome. Welcome to the village, sweetie pie. So long story short, we're living in this house, apartment at the time. We're living in this apartment together, right? And the one I like is living on the outside, right? And from time to time, I'm leaving out to go meet up with this one that I like, right? And then I'm coming back home to the one that I'm living with, right? Don't try to judge me. Don't try to dare judge me. This is why I tell y'all I don't judge people, because I have ran my own race in life. And I'm not saying this to, be cute about it, but I want people to understand how these kind of things can happen in people's lives without them planning it that way, so that you can understand if someone is going through that, how they can get themselves in that type of entanglement, right? So finally, this one that was staying with me, he couldn't take it no more because we was on the phone, he in the other room, and I'm, yeah, yeah. And he like, yo, is you crazy? I don't know what was wrong with me, right? What was wrong with me? I was playing with a stick of dynamite, right? And I would be on the phone with this guy, and he was in the other room. Hey, Gail, welcome, welcome, welcome to the village. He was in the other room, right? And one day he came and he called his cousin and he said, come get me. I can't do it no more. This chick is sitting up here talking to this guy on the phone, and I'm in the other room. So he left, right? So after he left, I called the other one, and I was like, well, the coast is clear now. Oh, bad girl, bad girl. Hey, ain't no need to be miserable when the coast is clear, right? Might as well take advantage of it. Ain't nobody put him out. He left. So he left, and I called the other one. So he said, well, I'm going to come see you tomorrow. So I said, okay, cool. So the next day we met up. We hung out and stuff like that. And we officially got back together, right? Now I'm thinking this other one is moving on, right? Because he left. A couple of weeks later, he comes calling back. It's never an easy process. I promise y'all it don't never go easy. And he was like, I'm hurting and I still care for you and I want us to work it out. So now I got this one over here wanting to work it out, and I got this one over here wanting to work it out, and I'm just sitting there like, wow, I could get used to this. Let me stop. But that's why I can see how people can get themselves in those type of situations, right? So I had to go to my friends, right? And I was like, hey, yo, listen, this is my situation. And they was like, girl, you about to die. Somebody get ready to hurt you. You better figure it out. And I said, okay, I know. So I had to totally end it with the one that I was engaged to, right? And then the embarrassing part is his whole family had met me, right? And his whole family knew he had bought me a ring, right? And his whole family knew we were supposed to be in love, right? And his whole family thought we was planning a wedding, right? And he got to go tell his whole family, I am torn and this woman done left me for a man that just got out of jail. I'm so embarrassed to even be telling this story, but I'm standing up in some truth right now. This is why I tell y'all, everybody got a pass. You hear me? So long story short, we got back together and we had some good runs and we had some bad runs. But right now to this day, we still have a certain type of love for one another. We're not in a relationship anymore. That's no longer an option. That's, we done decided that's a bye-bye now. We done did that. Sweetie Pie said, right? Fifi over there dying laughing. Perhaps they should work it out between themselves. But you know what is so hard? It is so hard because you know what was hard for me? I can't speak for no one else. When you love somebody and you into them, and then it's like, okay, I know I gotta let this person go, but I don't want them to be hurt that I'm letting them go. And he would call me so broken, and I was still attached there too because he was there for me while this man was in jail. And this part that I skipped over is I had a child that, both of these men had a relationship with also. Great day, the Queen. Today is National Back to the Future Day, October 21st. Hey, Mr. Fulton! What's going on, Mr. Fulton? I ain't seen you in a while, Mr. Fulton. Thank you for coming in. This is another one of my good buddies, Mr. Fulton. And any of y'all that's growing your channel, let me say this too before I lose my train of thought. If you're free at 7 p.m., get over to my brother William Newell channel. He has an amazing grow channel over there. Him and Crystal Wall will treat you so good. And I mean, the whole channel is very friendly. So if anybody's looking to pick up new people, and I don't know if Shanique, if you would see this in time, and Tyrone Morgan, but if y'all do not have William Newell and his family, our family, because I'm a part of that family, get over there and check them out. They are such an amazing grow channel. I promise you, you'll have a good time in there. Hey, Mr. Fulton from Sweetie Pie. I like hearing about the past. You learn that way. Jackson, let me tell you something, honey. I was a piece of work. I thank God he got hold of my hind part and tried to clean this little lady up because I was a piece of work. And so was one of them. Let me just put it to you that way. He wasn't no Boy Scout either. And you know which one that probably was, right? Right. I mean, I ran a race with this man. I mean, we've been through some stuff. You hear me? He done cheated and everything. I'm blaming it on him. He cheated. He cheated. I was honest. I told him what I was doing. Oh, yeah, William is one I must have got you from. Yeah, I love him. He is such an amazing person. And Crystal Wall, I love her. She is such an amazing person. That's my brother and sister. They played a major role in me hitting my 1K. And I actually met my good old bestie over here, Mr. Fulton, over on their channel. They are really a beautiful family. It's really a family. Shout out to William, yes, at 7 p.m. Yep. But yes, guys, so now the reason why I'm telling y'all this is because Sometimes we want to pretend that we don't know how that kind of stuff can happen. Right? We don't want nobody to know. Shoot, I've been in that type of situation before. I've been being tugged this way, pulled that way, jerked that way, pushed back, and you got to figure it out, right? You got to find out. Okay, this cannot continue. It's not healthy for none of the above, right? Somebody gonna get hurt, right? And all y'all need to know, yes, they did come face to face with each other too. They came face to face with each other too, and they were sizing each other up. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, please, Lord, don't let nothing bust loose." This one just hardly got out of jail, and that one over there, I don't know if you can handle the heat. He out the bring, so don't let me get in the middle and try to. Hey, it's okay. I'm gonna figure this out. So you got to be careful because you got some people that's crazy out here. Yeah, shout out to Crystal. You got some crazy people out here. The most I can say to you, if you're in a situation, is to sit down and do what I did, right? I wrote a list. This was a hard decision. Hey, Jocelyn, this was a hard decision. Welcome, sweetheart. I had to figure out which one I want to be with. And I was in love with one more than the other, but I still had feelings for the other one too. Love is complicated, very true. You never know what can happen. Same as family affairs. Yes, yes, love is a powerful thing, and finding in the right person is like being on cloud nine. Yes, but see, I had a different life with both of them, and I'm gonna tell y'all how, so y'all can understand why I went through what I went through. Jocelyn, one was a thug, right? One was the thug life. And okay, when I was young, it was something about those guys that was into that thug life that intrigued me, right? I liked me a little roughneck thug man, right? And he was a thug. Okay, I'm gonna stand up in some truth. Jesus, you already know my truth. And he was a thug, and I liked me a kind of like thug dude, right? And the other one was the total opposite. He was conservative, sweet, laid back. And the thug had his sweet side too. That's what made him kind of attractive because he had his sweet side. And then he had that other little gangster lean side. And I used to be like, yes, I'm loving this, right? Because I was the same way. I had my sweet side, but then I had that other side that was kind of, a little bit rough around the edge, right? So, anyway, long story short, I was trying to like figure out, okay, which one is going to be best for me. And you don't never make the right decision when you in that kind of mood, right? In situation. And I know the one that was best for me would have been the one that was working for Wells Fargo, conservative, bought me a ring, got his life on track, never had a bad day in life, never been to jail. Everybody just love and adore. My family, met him and just thought he was everything that, I could ask and want for. And then the other one was just hell on wheels. And guess which one I chose though? Hell on wheels. Hell on wheels. Okay, y'all. Don't y'all dare judge me. You see, we ladies always like the naughty guy. And you know what? I used to. I don't want no parts of the naughty guys no more. I'm done with the naughty one. I want them to have a little bit of an edge because I still can have a little bit of an edge, but I don't want him to just be, oh, you're making me cry now. No, I don't want no more of those. When I went there, then I pick up the bad one. When I went there, that I pick up the bad one. Yes, hell, yes, yes. But I don't know what it is about them like that. That most women just be like, yes, I like him, I like him, I like him. And honey, let me tell you, everything I did, I paid for that. You hear me? Everything I did, I paid for it down the road. Because that's why I tell you, you reap what you sow. That's my favorite scripture. Because I promise you, you reap what you sow. Child, that man started cutting his behind up later on down the road. He was cheating and everything. And every time I would say, what's wrong with you? He'd say, well, you can't say nothing because you was out here with some other man. And all I could look at him and say is, yeah. Oh, you see how it'll turn back around on you also. So you got to be careful because what goes around comes around. And that's why now I don't do that type of stuff. If I feel that something is not working out, I will leave you alone and close that chapter and make sure that chapter is closed before I move on to talk to somebody else. Because you can get yourself hemmed up easy, easy. And don't meet somebody and y'all have a lot in common. And it always seems like as soon as you break up with somebody and move on, you always seem to meet somebody that they spoiling you. They really like you. And I mean, this guy, he was giving it up for me. It was nothing I could have asked him for he wouldn't do for me. He would get out of his bed 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and go wait to cross our ride on the train if I wanted something. That's how much he cared about me. And I could say, you know, I got taste for this, and it's way an hour on the train. And he would get up out the bed and he would come back with it. And I'd be like, you went and got that. And he'd be like, you wanted it, right? Or he'll say, come on, put your clothes on, let's go. And I'd be like, we ain't getting ready to go. He'd be like, yes, we are. And back then we wasn't driving. We was in New York City when you took the train everywhere. And we would be on that train riding in the middle of the night to get whatever we had to get. And that's just how we were with each other. Hold on, everybody. Give me 1 second. Excuse me, everybody. And no, that wasn't Bishop for once. That's not Bishop. Yeah, shout out to Bishop. We love you, Bishop. You see how much we love you in the village? No, that was my teddy bear. You know, these guys are often confident, and when we are younger, we want some spice. The suit type of guys are too boring when you are young. Part of learning. You're so right, and you are absolutely right. I used to tell guys that was good guys, I don't want to be with you because I'm going to hurt you. Because I knew that I didn't want to be with the good guys. And I should be ashamed of myself, but I really didn't. And I loved me some guys that was just a challenging. And I used to, and believe it or not, all the good guys, for some reason, they were attracted to me and they would all want to be with me. And I would be like, I don't want him. And my friends would be like, girl, he is a sweetheart. Girl, he is a this. Girl, he is a that. And half of my family too. Girl, he is the other. And you know, I would just say, no, I don't like him like that. I like that one. And they'd be like, girl, leave him alone. He a knucklehead. Da-da-da-da-da. And I was still some kind of way worm my way on over to the knucklehead, right? I didn't care. I was enjoying myself when we was having a good time, right? And let me say this. He went through his stages of things that he did, but the whole relationship was not bad. You know, we got together and we did some good things and had a whole lot of fun and painted the town red together. And, you know, we had each other backs and things like that. And I think that's what made us want to make it work because before he left to go to jail, we was the best of friends as well as dating. And he just couldn't keep his nose clean and stay out of jail. And I do believe that was the breakdown of our relationship, him just keep going to jail. At some point, you jump off the boat, right, and decide to save yourself. And the young man who I had, I guess you could say, broke his heart a little bit. He moved on and stuff like that. And I ran into him years later, and he was just like, are you single? And I was like, no, we're not going back down that road. We're not going back down that road. But at the time, I was actually, dating someone else, because that was a horrible thing that I went through in my life. And that's why I'm sharing this, because I have so many youths that actually follow me, and they look at me as an auntie or a big sister. And I talk about these things because even though we may laugh and joke a little bit to ease the, burden of it, you get the message in between time that it's things that we go through in life. And I'm never going to get to a place, even as a Christian woman, where I forget my demise. I forget the bad decisions I made. I forget how I didn't always know what to do and do the right thing. Even when I did know what to do, I would let my crazy mind make some decisions for me. So, I share these things with you all so that you understand that it's okay not to be perfect. You're not going to always be perfect. You're not going to always make all the right decisions. You're going to go through the hard knocks of life, but just don't stay stuck there. Get yourself up and figure it out. Okay, how do I get out of this now? I put myself in it. Which one do I want to be with? If I want to be with either one of them. And will this person be able to trust me? Because that's another issue. When we started working it out, every time I would go out and, want to be with my friends and stuff, he would pop up where I was at. And it can be exhausting when a person isn't popping up because they just come to hang with you. They're popping up to make sure you're not over here with the next man, right? So now I broke the trust, right? Where he trusted me, now he's starting to feel like, well, I don't know what she might be over there doing. And then when women would flirt with him, he started to feel like, well, shoot, she was out there doing her thing. Why not join the club? So you have to be careful at what you put out there, because sometimes you can open up your own can of toxicity and negativity because we wasn't going through that. And after I did that to him, it's like he never was the same towards me. He never trusted me like that. No matter what, he always looked at me like, I don't know what to expect from you. And I'm sharing this with y'all because I want women out there as well as men to understand that the decisions that you make plays a big role in how the person that you with, your husband, your boyfriend, your mate, your jump off, your cuff, or whatever y'all call it, is going to view you and treat you. What did I get out of that? Don't do it again. Don't do it again. And I don't do those kind of things no more. So let me share that with y'all, and I thank God for that. I don't play with people, and I don't bring people into situations. I will end the chapter before I pick up another book. Let's get out of that book and close it. Let's get to the conclusion before picking up another book. Because, I put a whole lot of stress on not only the persons, but the young man that was locked up. His mother and I were very close also. And, when he told her, like, she's in a whole relationship and engaged, she was like, no way. Ain't no way. She just done went and got in a whole nother relationship and engaged to somebody. And, you in there, and I had been seeing them and talking to them, and I would take the ring off so nobody see it. And one day his brother saw the ring, and he said, you engaged? And I was like, no. He was like, that's an engagement ring. And I was like, no, it's not. But it was an engagement ring. So being dishonest don't get you too far, or whatever the case may be. What you said, Fifi, true. What yes said, very true. So you gotta figure it out. Now, if you're presently in that situation, you gotta come out of it, because it's just a matter of time before it's gonna bust loose at the seams. Somebody is gonna get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and somebody is gonna call you out. If they're anything like me, they're gonna call you to the carpet, because I'm not gonna allow nobody to wiggle and jiggle two people at the same time. Make a decision, or I'll make it for you. And if you can't figure it out, I'm going to figure it out, and I'm removing me. And y'all go ahead, because I'm not about to be going through those type of changes. And I don't knock anybody who can handle it. I can't handle that kind of stuff. I'm not getting ready to sit here and pretend I can. Mm-mm. I don't know how to share. I really don't. I don't know how to share. If this your week, how am I supposed to know? What's the rules? Is there rules? Think about it. Another thing, if you took the person back that was the bad boy, would you tell people you took him back? Or would you hide it? You don't even want nobody to know you made that crazy decision, especially when all of your friends are saying that, you know, girl, is you crazy? You out your mind? It's just crazy. Pardon me, y'all. I tell y'all, I'm never in one stage. I'm always multitasking. So let me tell y'all, right? Be careful. Be careful. This is a very complicated. When I was younger, I would not tell others. Now I try to give less of a darn what others think. Right? And you know why? Because we all fall short of the glory of God, right? And there was a time when I would not probably have, opened up and talked about a lot of the things from my past. But the more I see Christ, the more He used me to turn my pain into my testimony, to turn my experience into my testimony to help other people. There are so many people out here going through things in this life, and sometimes they are ashamed to tell people because they don't want to feel judged. They don't want people looking down at them and talking about them. And I try to let them know it's okay. Once you repent and God forgive you and He throws it into the sea of forgetfulness, that's the end of it. You don't have to worry about nobody judging you because it don't have no merit. And I talk to people in this village because there's so many people that really don't have anyone to talk to, or they don't want to talk to the people around them for whatever their reason may be. And you'd be surprised the amount of relationship topics that comes across this desk. Can y'all talk about this? I'm going through that. I'm in the middle of this. And I'm hoping and praying that if it's not just that person and it's other people too, that we all can come in here and talk and come up with things to take the burden off of it a little bit by joking here and there, but allowing them to actually understand you're not alone. You're not the only one that's been in that situation. And see, when you told me, I didn't even tell you that I've been in the same situation before. But I've been in a situation where I was in love with two men at the same time and having to make a decision as to which one I want to be with. Whether or not the right decision was made is a whole nother subject. But I know how it feels to have your heartstrings pulled this way, pulled that way, and you really don't know exactly which way you want to go. And then even after making the decision, I still was going through my own pain for the one that was hurting because he was good to me. Hey, Bishop. Y'all done spoke Bishop up. Welcome to the village, Bishop. It is quite freeing when you don't care no more, as long as you are truthful to yourself. Yes. And see, the good thing about it is we are all mature adults now. When this was taking place, I was very young. I was very young, guys. I was in my 20s or something like that when this stuff was going on. And, I'm a mature woman now. And I wouldn't make that same decision today. And I'm sure they would not either. And we could sit and laugh about it now, both of us and all of us actually, because it's not about looking back at the pain. It's about seeing that we all have matured and grown and evolved as people. So when you're young, sometimes you can do some crazy stuff. And when I was young, I was that young crazy girl. I was really a crazy girl. Oh, thank you, Lord, for helping me. I used to do some crazy stuff, guys. And yes, I was a kind of what you would call a kind of wild child. And I was definitely edgy. I would step out on a limb. So that was me, right? And maybe that's why I am so great with the youth, because I know what my walk have been. Fifi is in this room, and Fifi is my goddaughter, and Fifi knows the race I've ran. Fifi has witnessed a lot of our craziness. Fifi, I was actually telling them about a week ago about that time when we was in the dollar store, and that guy came in the dollar store, and we was in the aisle, and I was like, Fifi, stand here, so he couldn't get past. And then I was like, if you want to get past, you got to say, ladies, can I get through? This man is like, ladies, can I get through? They want to get past us. And we cracking up laughing, right? And now he came back again and he saw us. He went the other way. Fifi, do you remember that? And now we go to pay for our stuff, right? And he's standing up in the line with this woman. And I'm like, Fifi, she gonna beat you up. I'm gonna have to jump in with these kids. And we are in the line cracking up because we didn't know he was in the store with somebody. Just imagine if that woman would have came over there and caught me talking about, you better say, can I get past? Oh my goodness. But this is the kind of craziness that, we would do for fun. I was just one of them girls that just like to have fun and laugh, right? And I didn't mean no harm or nothing like that. I'm just a goofy person at times. But I'm learning that I can't be goofy anymore because you got some crazy people out here, right? You got some people out here that'll put your lights out over a joke, right? So I'm learning to stop being such a jokester, guys. I don't know where Fifi went. Oh, the question that I would have for all of you, right? And I want y'all to stand up in some truth now. See, I done stood up in my truth. If Is there someone in your past that if you was to see them today, it would create a problem? Is it someone from your past that if you was to be able to see them today, it may create a problem? Someone that you was in love with, that you really cared about, and it ended and you moved on. But if they was to come back right now, today, and say, hey, let's start over and let's try to see where it can go, would you take the bait? Let's stand up in some truth. This should be interesting. I'll wait. Fifi over there cracking up. Yes, I do. You remember that, Fifi? And see, this is the kind of craziness that we do when we hanging out and just innocent, goofy stuff, nothing major. Sweetie Pie said, nope. Great answer, Sweetie Pie. Great answer. Me being who I am today, I wouldn't. I would not. I feel when you're dating someone and they have commit to making it about you. And this is when you're dating exclusively. I'm not talking about when you're just running amok through a crowd. But when you're dating someone exclusive, there should be a chill mode somewhere. And I learned from my past experience that it's not fair, because that wasn't the only time I did that, if I had to be honest. I had two other guys fighting. Trust me. Yeah, it got terrible. And then I got pulled into it, and I threw it. Felicia, you remember that when I threw that iron out the window? Oh, and broke your father's watch. Oh Lord, yeah, y'all. I was a piece of work. But it got bad, and I did that out of revenge. And that's another thing. Don't do stuff out of revenge. If somebody do something to hurt you, just let it go. Don't feel that you got to hurt them because they hurt you. Because that's how it was. If you did something to me, oh, you weren't going to one-up me. You definitely weren't going to one-up me. I was getting ready to get you back. And I done grew up now. I don't do that kind of stuff. But he had did some greasy stuff at his sister's house, right? Talking to one of her friends over there, thought he was going to get away with it, right? And this is why I always tell people, do not date nobody on the block you live on, right? Because we was living on the same block, right? And I came home with this cutie, right? Oh, you want to play games? I met this real cute guy, right? And I mean, he was dressed to the nine. And I was like, won't you come see me? And this and that. And we had only known each other about 2 weeks. And he was like, okay. I went walking past his house with this guy, and his stoop was loaded. You hear me? Everybody was outside. Before I could get 3 steps the other way, they was running in that house to tell him, she just walked past him with this dude. He is cute. Before I could get up the stairs good, he was down there. Oh, Lord. It got crazy. Well, I love my hubby. He ain't perfect at all. And sometimes so annoying, but it's my soulmate, so I probably would not. Right. I'm not going back down that road. You got my stomach hurting at work, cracking up, because I know you remember that stuff. The one thing I can say in all honesty, and I thank God for that, from the day I met my husband, Bishop is over there dying. From the day I met my husband, not only after we got married, from the day we started talking until the day he went home, I never even looked at another man like that. I didn't have an interest in no one else. He was really my soulmate, and he was my best friend. He was my everything. And I am so honored to say I never cheated on him. I never wanted to. I've never seen, guys in that kind of way. My focus was I can't wait to be with my husband. I'll enjoy him. I want to spend time with him. Everything we did was with each other. And I'm grateful that I experienced that. We didn't go through those type of changes with each other where every time you look, it's a situation. And I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. And I'm honored as a young lady to say that I had an honorable marriage. I wasn't cheating all over him. And if he did it, I never caught him, so I can't, say he did. All the memories you just brought back up. Yes, 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 yes. We had some crazy things going on in my life. There was never a dull moment. I promise you it wasn't. There was never a dull moment in my life, guys. I was that girl that was just so full of everything. Like every time you look, you was like, oh no, what now? But hey, you grow up at some point, right? And you get yourself on the right track and you do what you have to do. And I wasn't just a train wreck, but I did go through some things. I did go through some things. And when it came to men, I'm going to be honest, I got hurt. And when I got hurt, I didn't know how to digest getting hurt because I didn't know about dating. My parents were still together. I come from a family where everyone is still with their high school sweethearts for the most part. All my uncles and aunties are still together. So I think I was the first one to not even be with my children's father that I can think of. So I didn't know how to digest, being hurt. So after I got hurt in my mind, I felt nobody else would hurt me because I'm not going to give you that part of me where you could hurt me again. So going forwards, every time I met someone, I always kind of had somebody else in the balance somewhere. It was never really a solid situation. Even when I was dating and I wasn't cheating, I always had people that I knew if I wanted to cheat, I could cheat with. Or if I was sick of you, I could move on to this one over here. And don't y'all dare do that. That's not the answer. And don't do revenge stuff either. If somebody do something wrong to you, don't you go do that same thing to get back at them. That's never the answer. It only makes it worse, I promise you. Because those are the kind of stupid decisions I would make. Oh, you did that? Oh, okay, watch. And then it's a thing that I'm going to tell y'all, ladies, that I learned about men. Because men and women are wired differently. They can't handle the emotional stuff that we can handle. They can't handle it the way we handle it. We may cry and stuff, and then they'll say, well, do you forgive me? And most of the time, if we want to be with them, we'll kind of forgive them a little bit. But with them, it's a long journey for forgiveness. Once you really hurt them to their core, you got a rough ride ahead of you. And I'm saying this to you, ladies, because make sound decisions when you with someone you love. Don't break down the dynamics of your relationship by your decisions of being petty and doing stupidness. Because once somebody loses that certain type of love they have for you, it's hard for them to get it back. When a person would ride or die for you and you tear that down, it's hard for them to see you like that. So you have to be careful at what you bring on yourself also. And the same thing to you men. You got a good woman, don't you get out there and mess that up because she may stay with you, but then now she may start doing stupid stuff she wasn't doing before. And I didn't know how to be with a guy and he cheats. And when he cheated, I'm going to be honest, everybody was like, break up with him. You don't got to put up with that. And that's what I did. I was like, oh, yeah, that's what we do, right? You break up when somebody cheat, right? That's the rules, right? Pay close attention, people. Let me tell you something, people. Don't you listen to these fools, because now when you sitting in the corner struggling by yourself and broken, lonely, they going to be slapping five and you're going to be crying many a night. So pay attention to what your situation is and figure it out if that's what you want. I know I'm talking to somebody. I know I'm talking to somebody. True. Don't forget to hit the like button. Absolutely. And also, if you say you're going to forgive somebody, if you can't forgive them, just move on. Because I did that to somebody too who did some wrong stuff and then we worked it out. And basically, let me just backpedal. Just the same person, really. He wound up cheating, and we worked it out, and then it never was right. It was never right. It's as if maybe I should have just let you go on about your business because the relationship just was a mess after that. We never was the same as we were before. We both had did the things we did, and before that, we were very close, and it just got broke down and we was always trying to get it back on track. Well, I still care about you. I still care about you. Let's figure out what's wrong and try to get it back on track. But no matter how much we tried to get it back on track, it would never stay on that track. And I always said, maybe it was better for me to let him go from the beginning than with all the stuff that we went through together, back and forth. You tit for tat. You did this, I did that, I did the other. And you just know that at some point somebody had to jump off the boat, right? And save themselves and say, let's pull the plug. Let's just pull the plug. This is not healthy for either one of us. So whoever the other person is, somebody is going to be hurt. Both parties, everybody, including you, may be hurt because you hurt that you hurt somebody else. If you have compassion for people, it's a rough ride. And another thing, I'm going to say this before I tie this up in a neat bow. In the event that you do decide that you want to try to make it work with either person, the best advice that I could give any of you would be go get some counseling and sit down with someone and talk about what went wrong and how you did what you did and work on forgiveness and, talk about how to prevent it from happening again. What are the tools you can use not to put yourself in that situation? Because when I put myself in that situation, I didn't see it getting to be what it became. I met a young man. He was nice. He was into me. You locked up in jail. And I got somebody to spend time with and have fun with and do things with. And, when you come home, he'll go on about his business and me and you'll be back together. If only it was just that simple, people. If only it was just that easy, I wouldn't be telling this story. Remember that the heart is an involuntary muscle. It's an involuntary muscle, and sometimes you can't help that you start caring for people and catching feelings for people, especially when they're good to you and you're spending good times together. What would I have done different? If I could have done anything different, it would have been either break the relationship or stay with the one that I had took the ring from, that I was engaged to. I always said, why did you do what you did? Do I regret my decision? No, I don't have any regrets because I would never ever have to wonder what would have happened if I would have took him back, because I know what would have happened if I took him back because I experienced it, right? And that was what made me make the decision I made when he kept, saying, I want us to work. I want to be with you. I would lay in bed at night with this one over here, thinking about that one over there. That is some more truth. That's not a good spot to be in. When you're laying over here, but your heart and your mind and your soul is over there. So I share this with you all, hoping that I will help someone that's going through this to be able to ease some of the stress off of yourself. You're not the only one been in these type of situations. So many people wouldn't admit it, but they have been there too. And when you talk to me about it, I didn't tell you this right away because I wanted to tell you this way. You're not alone. Pray, and whatever is in your spirit that makes you feel what the decision is right, walk into it. But whichever one you decide to be with, if you decide to be with either of them, cut off all communication with that other person and seek some counseling. And I wish you the best in your decision. God bless you. And just keep me posted. Let me know how everything work out. God bless you. Well, guys, we had a long stream. And, I think we got some kind of answers out, right? Of why you be careful with what you do. And I want to thank all of you that came into the stream today and just took out the time to be a part of not a subject that even was your situation, but helping someone else do their demise. Because that's what a village is all about. It's not just about worrying about what's going on with one person. It's about being able to touch people all over the universe. And I just want to stop now and thank you all. Tyra Morgan, thank you for coming in. James Money 615, thank you for coming in. Faz Ira, thank you for coming in. Fifi Green, thank you for coming in. Yes Nomads, thank you for coming in. Sweetie Pie Ross, thank you for coming in. Gail Jones, thank you for coming in. Mr. Fulton, Morez, thank you for coming in. Jocelyn Dubria, thank you for coming in. Bishop, thank you for coming in, Bishop. Sending love to the village. Thank you, sweetie pie. Bless you, darling. Thank you, yes, nomads. Love, love, Fifi. Thanks for sharing and have a great day. You too, yes, nomads. I appreciate you all for coming in and helping me deliver this topic because I pray that this person get a whole lot of, information and closure. And thank you all. And y'all have a blessed day. God bless you all.